Hey y'all, this is just a quick reminder. Two other people are posting content on this channel, so you should also watch that. Okay, now in this video, I start off in a cave. Now, this is episode 2, but what I have to say is I do have my power unlocked. I have a pocket reality. I have essentially just a free ender chest, and I also have a pocket dimension, kind of, like the nether, that I can go into at any time. Now, I set off a skull shaker, and dude, this thing's freaked me out so much. I am absolutely terrified of all of the skulk things. This entire time I was recording, my heart was pounding, but I'm doing this for y'all because I want to make good content, you know? So this video is just me going through, exploring the deep dark, and y'all can see my powers. So if you can see, I got two new abilities when I went into my dimension. One of them, the upper one, it allows me to set rules for the mind dimension, essentially. Let's say I want no one else to be able to use their powers in my dimension. I can do that. Or if I want everyone to have super speed or like resistance, I can also do that. Also, you'll see my armor bar went up. I get a buff when I go into my dimension as well. And I get maxed out armor, just with nothing on. And I just want to say thank y'all all who watched this video. This means a lot to me. This means a lot to 75 and Buck. Buck hasn't posted yet, and he's going on vacation, so it might be a little longer till y'all meet him. But I promise you, everything is going to be worth it. Thank y'all so much for supporting us. Also, um, you know how I said my heart was pounding this entire time? Now I was super scared. My original footage of me going through the deep dark got corrupted. So I had to go to another deep dark to film more for y'all. So you're welcome. I'm never getting this portion of my life back. I'm gonna lose 10 years for doing this. But thanks for watching. Okay, so right now I'm going through my chest. I'm going to make an iron hoe and an extra pickaxe so I can break the streaker, and I accidentally set it off. Terrifying. Never convince me to go into these ever again. I'm not ready for it. Okay, so here's some updates on the server. Buck hasn't done much, especially since vacation time, but 75 has unlocked the power. Now, since he's not a superior being, as I am, just want to remind y'all, he's not a superior being. So, his injection gave him side effects. He only has 6 hearts, and he's slower than normal, which is a huge upside for me. I mean, yes, his only power right now is that he can teleport when he's low on health, and he can choose to teleport. But he can't control where he can teleport right now, so not much of a problem. I can easily take him out. He might watch this video and think, oh, well, he's planning to kill me or something. No, I'm just informing all y'all that I could. Anyway, but dude, I'm walking through this deep dark. It's like terrifying. I don't know when one streaker or like where any streakers are. I'm just like being as cautious as I can. From the thumbnail, you can tell I did encounter some wardens. I promise you I did. That'll just come later. You always gotta collect resources though, so I'm back mining. I only got 2 iron from that, but from my dimension, which has saved me so many times, I am able to get another pickaxe. Also, um, last video someone commented they want me to build a dirt mansion for the dirt man, which I am going to work on in my main base. But if y'all want to comment on this video too, I will build something inside my dimension as long as it is able to fit in there. But it does seem to be growing, so maybe not right now, but maybe later it will be bigger, so I can include more things from y'all. Okay, so as I'm going deeper into this cave, I'm just like, I'm not being super cautious right now, and I do find more iron, but I do make my way back up because I'm not sure if there's an ancient city under this one, but in between my adventures, I have to go because 75's random teleportation abilities landed him on the nether roof, and we didn't have a portal up there, so now we do. Anyways, I'm going through wishing I still had my cloud in the bottle and my onion ring, which would make all of this so much easier. Why'd I have to die with them? Anyway, so I'm going through and I do break some skulk, and I remember how good it is at giving XP. So, to get my final ability, which sends my pocket reality into the real world, I should absolutely grind some skulk. Maybe if y'all want me to do a stream or something, and I can just like talk live with y'all, I can absolutely do that. But I want at least 50 likes if I'm gonna do something like that. Let's see. I'll ask a trivia question for the day, and y'all can respond and answer to it in comments. What what year was the windshield wiper invented and who invented it? Okay. So right now, I know I'm not doing that much, but I go into my dimension and I'm just going to make myself an iron hoe right now because if you find a deep dark, make a hoe. They're so useful for going around this place. I'm not super worried about my situation right now, since if anything happens, I can just mainly use my like reality warp to stop it, but shifting against the warden also means that I can't go into my reality, which is a downside. Anyway, so I'm collecting experience right now, and as I'm doing it, I set off a skulk sensor, which made me like pee my pants, being honest. I'm so terrified of these things. So, as I'm searching around, there's not much light in this video, so if the visibility is not incredible, I'm sorry. But searching around, I get the darkness effect because the streaker goes off. And every time I get the darkness effect, I freak out so much. I'm like, wait, where's the warden? Where's the warden? So, as I'm freaking out, I manage to get my composure together and I look around because I need to take this streaker out and I see it all the way up there. Now, I don't, I just gotta sneak up close carefully and I can't shift for this, but it's just in my range to mine. No other shriekers though, so we're safe for now. But I set two streakers off, so not a great sign right now. Okay, I just gotta be careful and I gotta go through. Now I see an opening to this like sculpt cavern, which is what makes me think that there's probably an open area with an ancient city, but I'm not completely sure. So I'm just going to collect more resources because this did originally start as a mining trip until I saw the skulk. I just gotta be careful throughout this entire place. And if y'all want to see me do something more specific, like in a few videos I'm planning on like trying to go to space, then I'll absolutely do that. Like if y'all want me to get that on camera or something. Or not on camera, but if y'all want like a video of it, just like show your support. Anyway, as I'm freaking out right now, like 1,000 heart rate, I'm careful and these skulk caves look so cool and so creepy that I'm thinking like, what if I make my pocket dimension like a skulk area? And then like anyone who walks in is like enveloped by skulk and I can like have a bunch of like screamers or whatever they're called. And then when people go into my dimension, like they immediately go in and then like a bunch of like wardens are there, like they spawn in from the streakers. That could be a pretty good trap idea, but it'd be pretty hard to not trap myself. Now, I'm going to be careful. I do mine one more streaker without setting it off, because the next streaker I set off is not going to be good news for me. Now, something else is that my next video, I'm mainly going to be focusing on building an underground village. So, if y'all think that sounds cool, turn on notifications and just like follow the content because I'm going to try to make the build look as good as I can. And I'm even going to have like something I'm going to make is like a TARDIS for like my pocket reality because like how cool would that be? Like I walk into the TARDIS box and then like other people walk into it with me and they're like, "Oh man, this is bigger than I expected." Anyway, I'm just spitballing some ideas for it. So as I continue on, I see another shrieker, which gives me the idea that I should go. Oh, nope, I thought I was going to go grab my water bucket from my pocket reality, but apparently I decide, yeah, let's just take some fall damage. Anyway, also, if you're like a big creator and you're like looking through these or something, like technically we're like one of the smallest active channels on YouTube, if not the smallest. But I'd love to do like a collaboration or something where like we could just, I don't know. I've always like I watch like everyone being honest and I just like I don't know. Like y'all could like give me advice or something. I just want to like talk or even if y'all have like tips or tricks or something that y'all want us to do, we'll absolutely do that. Any mods you want us to try out, just like put them in the description. Or not the description, in the comments. Sorry. Anyway, so that's one more shrieker down in this area, but there's still so many. Now, I do have enough iron where I can successfully make myself gear for a few deaths where that's going to be useful, but also I don't have a ton of competition right now because Rowdy, or sorry, I keep calling him Rowdy because that's his username for other things. Buckshot doesn't have a power yet, and 75 can't control his, and in the only aspect he can control, he teleports randomly. Plus, having 6 hearts is a huge downside, so I hope he finds something to make it up. I think he was talking about artifacts that can help, like the running shoes should restore his walking speed to normal, and the crystal heart should give him like a few more hearts, enough where maybe he has slightly above average or average. Anyway, so as I'm going through, I'm collecting all this skull because look at how much experience it is. I don't know. I'll have to do like a test of like an hour of farming skulk versus an hour of like quartz mining because I know that they're both very good sources for experience. But I remember when he was enchanting Clown Pierce used skulk, so I'm definitely gonna try that out. Anyway, the experience sounds are so like satisfying too. I know I take the audio out of the actual like Minecraft part of these, which if you want me to like keep it in, I absolutely can. By the way, that's my third shrieker, so you know what that means. I immediately panicked to go to my dimension, and I'm just freaking out right here. Like, I could have smelt my iron. I'm thinking, like, okay, there's a warden, and it's like 5 blocks away from me. What am I gonna do? How am I going to survive this? Why am I going to have, like, I want to say it's my third death, which, like, yeah, I've died the most on the server, but also, creepers keep sneaking up on me, man. Like, I'll be doing something and then they'll always go like right behind me and then I hear the hiss and I start running, but then it's like slightly too late. Anyway, so I'm thinking right here, like, I could bring my horse through. This isn't Horus, the original horse from episode 1, but I could bring him out of my dimension and use him as a distraction for the warden. But also, like, I've had this horse for a while. Do I really want to do that? Like, I don't want him to die. He's not a great horse. He can't even jump 2 blocks at max jump. So I am going to retire him as soon as I get a better horse. But he's decently fast. He's good for me traveling, and I just think like I can't give up on him. So I'm just sitting here and thinking, and I do end up calling, yeah, right now, and a little bit 75 is going to get on the server, and I do end up calling him, and I think right now I'm on a call with him, but he can't get on for some reason. And I'm just freaking out in this entire situation because I'm in the deep dark, which I don't like to be in. And there's a warden. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to die. I've come to terms with this. What is any ways I can prevent this? So we're spitballing some ideas. And if y'all don't know anything about this mod, on a new moon, people's powers stop. Like, they get deactivated. And something I don't know is that 2 times in this video, new moons happen. And I just freak out so much because, like, I don't have access to my pocket dimension, which is the main way I survive any of this. It is terrifying to say the least. Anyway, so I finally get composure as I'm waiting for my iron to smelt, and I'm just still like trying to decide the situation. I know I have some ender pearls, so if I need to, I could use that to get out of the spot. I have an ability, I could bring the warden into my dimension and then run out of it, which isn't the greatest idea, but it's not the worst idea. Now, I'm still considering because this is a tough spot. Like, do I just let the warden run free? Like, I decide, like, hey, I'm just gonna live here right now. So I plant some sugarcane, and in a little bit, there's gonna be a cut to what I do later because I just decide that right now, I'm too stressed to deal with this warden. So I'm going to go and build something. It doesn't look that great, but I'm going to build something just to like calm myself down because it's just like a part of Minecraft that's not super stressful. And also, in this video, there's like a 10-minute period, not in this video, but in the original like recording of me just standing still here, which I do cut, so I think it's this right here while I'm just talking to 75 and I'm standing still for like 10 straight minutes, and I don't really know why, but in a little bit, I'm going to build. I did put it in a time lapse, but dude, I was so stressed this entire video. Also, if y'all think that I should do an intro, I have no problem with that, but do you think it should be like a normal intro or like a animated intro or like a just thing I do? I don't know. I'll need to like pre-record an intro maybe. Anyway, so this is the time lapse as I see the warden start to walk towards me and I immediately panic again. Now, this house doesn't look that great. Its roof is a little weird, but then again, building roofs in Minecraft's hard enough, and it's pressed against one of the walls, but the wall does grow, and I don't hate the build. I don't think it's good, but I think it's kind of like a dragon's, like, den kind of look. Like, it looks like a dragon would crawl out of that. Anyway, I have my chest, I have my sugarcane, and I end up going AFK on my horse too, because I'm just like freaking out trying to formulate a plan. I should have been looking through my chest at the time, even though I knew that the ender pearls were the only helpful thing I had. So I go through, I look, I see I have my iron hoe, I have a bow, I have a fishing rod, and I don't have that much. I have my ender pearls. I can make sticks with my wooden plank, which allows me to get another iron hoe, which is very helpful because you always need it to mine skulk. It is one of the most important things in this just entire world that I had this. It helped me so much. And for my old one that was about to break, I didn't want to just like throw it away. So I do end up just hoeing a single part. Tell me what crop I should plant down in the comments. Anyway, so I see the warden, which is terrifying. He walks towards me, and I just freak out again because I'm not dealing with that. So as I just stand here, contemplating my life, this is the minute. This is the time where I had like that 10-minute period of me just standing there. So I go into F5. I just look around. I contemplate. And this is where I end my original clip. Now, the video file corrupted, and I'm so sorry, but I did end up escaping that warden, but I realized that that's kind of a lackluster ending for this video, so what I did is that I refound a whole deep dark just to give y'all good content. And I want y'all to be thankful for that because I was still freaking out this entire time. I'd hear the screech of the skulk like, "Arr!" And then I'd just like I'd have like a mini heart attack. Anyway, as I'm shifting through, looking around, and I'm thinking, hey, maybe this isn't so bad. I see an ancient city or whatever they're called, and I'm like, hey, maybe I can get some gear. Now, while I'm thinking, oh, I should get some gear, I'm just walking through, and I just don't want any shriekers to go off because if I summon a warden now, like, maybe I can go into my dimension, but also I only have iron armor. The warden can one-shot me. That is scary. Being able to die in just a hit, like, I realized this and I just put everything in my dimensional storage. And that ends up setting off skulk sensors, which is good to know. I didn't really pay that much attention to it. Anyway, I walk through and then I see, hey, that. Or never mind, good a second. I just cautiously move my way down. And this is still like freaky to me now. I get scared watching deep content. A shrieker goes off behind me. I'm terrified. I think, did I just summon a warden? And no, thankfully, if I did, I'm pretty sure that I'd have a heart attack right then, and I wouldn't be able to upload this video. So, as I was saying, I continue through and I start to like, I got my courage up slightly. I start to break some minor skulk sensors. I still mine iron because right now we aren't very geared up. If I was playing a server with like better people, kinda, I would have had diamond fully in the first episode. But this isn't lifesteal. This is Neverwhere. And in this series, Buck and 75 may never wear diamond armor. Thank you, thank you. I know my joke was incredible. But as I was saying, I'm going to continue on my search. I'm going to continue deeper into the deep dark, and this is just like, I don't know, like y'all can't tell, but my heart's beating now. Anyway, I see an ancient city, which I am just stoked about because I'm thinking maybe I can get some diamond gear here, which all I end up finding is diamond hose. Just kind of disappointing, I will say. But anyway, I see these shriekers, and I don't see any skulk like sensors near them, so I decide that I'll mine them, and I don't end up setting them off, which I'm so thankful for because I just hear that like screech and my heart just stops. I just like stop functioning for a second. Either that or I go into like hyperdrive. So I break my fall with this water to try to make as little sound as possible. And then I go down and I almost fall there, but I managed not to. Now, I can tell by me not frantically looking around for shriekers that I didn't set any off in my fall. And I'm just going through and I get to a wool part so I can finally walk, not crouch, but I do crouch climbing up the ladder and walking around up here. Ancient cities are big. I go into my dimension to store up. If I'm sorry I did this off camera, but I found four skeleton horses or three skeleton horses, and by the end of this, I only have one skeleton horse, I think, which is a lot less. Anyway, I know that if I die, the main thing I lose right now is my levels because I have another villager hat for the artifact, and I can always replace all my gear. My most expensive thing is just my iron gear. I set off a streaker right there for not being careful, which I'm terrified, but a warden's goes to get some. Sorry, I just kind of walked around, and wardens are terrifying. They like sniff around, and they like get all up in your business, and even if you don't make a sound, they can still like sniff you out, and it is terrible. Like, have you ever been sniffed by one? They like walk all zombie-like to you. They shamble over, and they get like right up in your face, and they like lean forward, and they're like, I don't know if y'all heard that. My mic quality probably wasn't. It probably just not sensitive enough to pick it up. but I just like sniffed at the camera, which I realize is very strange. But they just like get all up in your face and it's unhygienic and it's absolutely terrifying. Now, my solution for being absolutely terrified of wardens is mainly just like running away from them and hiding in my pocket reality. Because there's not much else I can do. If y'all want me to like duke it out in my reality with a warden once I get like full netherite and I like can boost myself, I'm open to that idea. You know what? I'm fine boxing a warden, but I'll only do it if this gets 50 likes as well. Pretty sure I said that for something else. Or I think that was a stream to get my final ability, which takes 120 levels. And I set off another shrieker, which, guess what? Spawns in more wardens. These things are horrifying. And I may never recover the irreparable damage this did to me. Anyway, I'm going through and I'm walking around. I'm thinking, going here is maybe the worst mistake I've ever made. Now, I see the warden right there, and I panic. I go into my dimension. And time for more planning. Now, I moved all my enchanted mending books, and my librarian now shows sharpness 2 and lore 3. And I end up putting swift sneak on my pants to help me get away faster. But there's a glitch with the levels whenever I go into my dimension, so I don't actually show me putting it on my pants, but you saw. I have the book, and I have the pants, so like, I don't really know why you wouldn't believe me. And my dimension grows, if you saw that, because I built it up against the wall earlier. So that's good to know. I have an expanding dimension. I don't know how big it can get, but I could expand the house. Anyway, as I'm going through, I'm thinking, like, now I have these 3 skeleton horses. I'm nowhere nearly as attached to them as I am to my horse, so I can just kind of let them die. So I do end up sacrificing the slowest of them, because survival of the fittest. Now, that one that I just rode first was obviously the slowest. I don't think there's going to be any debate on that. So, he is the lamb to the slaughter. He is my warden distraction. I push my other horses away and I get ready to book it. Now, I have like 2 lives technically, which I both spent, and I take my lives here. I mean, like skeleton horses to distract the warden with. But after I summon it, he's still going after me. He's just ignoring it. But after I start like moving further away, and he's just following it. And the darkness effect is so creepy with him like glowing. I don't know how people deal with it. And I stand on a skulk sensor, which I just know I have to like run. And so I book it. I make it to a wall path, and the skeleton horse ends up triggering a skulk sensor, and the warden goes and absolutely slaughters. Like, imagine if that was me. I'd be dead in a sec. And he's still smelling me out. So we end up playing Ring Around the Rosie around here. And dude, I would just like hear its heart and its footsteps. Uh, anyway, I finally managed to sneak away for, not really sneak away, but I managed to get further, get some distance, as I need to make a new plan on where to. Having the warden constantly in and out of my sight from the darkness effect is horrible. So I go into my dimension and I end up making a new pair of leggings and putting Swift Sneak on them just so I can get farther away from this like horror. So after I craft my leggings, going in and out of my dimension messes with my levels. So what I do end up doing is I just go fishing once, which gives me XP, which fixes it, and then I just leave with the skeleton horse, who it tracks the warden, which is nice. And now that I have Swift Sneak, I move much faster, or not much, or yeah, much faster, noticeably faster. So as my horse dies to like the warden, I'm just sitting here thinking, what do I do? How do I survive this? So as I'm up here, I keep walking because I know if I stay still too long, he will sniff me out and use his sonically charged shrieks, which is one of the worst case scenarios. Anyway, so I keep going around, and I move, and this platform is just far enough where he just smells me, goes, and then goes back, where I'm not going to die, but I'm still kind of stuck. So I need to find a new plan on here. Now, I've already used both of my skeleton horses, and I don't have anything else, so I know that I need to pearl out. So I go out, and then I throw my pearl. I get teleported away, and I'm safe from this warden. Now, you can see I didn't go actually that far, but I went far enough where he can't hear me, and I'm safe. So now, this scene, I go and I find a place where I wish I found an artifact. Like, if I found a cloud in the bottom of something, that'd be still useful. But I just also thought it was really funny because it looked like there was an explorer here, and then he found the warden and, like, got murdered, and he just could never, like, repack up camp. I should make some sort of a base down here just to, like, set up my skull harvesting organization. Right now, you can see I'm level 23. To get my final ability, I need to get to level 120, which is so high. It's just unnecessary, you know? But doing it essentially gives me, like, a domain expansion if you've watched Jujutsu Kaisen. So it's pretty good. So anyway, I harvest a small bit of skulk, and I'm still crouching around because my main focus here was that I was trying to get some decently good armor if I could find it in a chest. But there was just like no chest or armor really. So I go up here and there's just this one shrieker, so I break it, which allows me to get into this chest where I find another diamond hoe, which is slightly worse than mine, even though mine has Curse of Vanishing. I get a Galad apple though, which is incredible. And this God apple allows me, it doesn't allow me to, but it will allow me to survive some sticky situations in the future. Now, I should have taken that skulk sensor for traps or something later, but I'm going to come back for it later, either when I'm not recording or when I just have anything to really record it. But I don't think it's big enough to warrant some video. Now that book is fire protection, so I just put it back because who uses fire protection? Like, I know they buffed it to make it so you burn for less time, but still, it's the most useless enchantment ever. So as I continue on, I check to see what my hoe has to see if it's actually better than the other one I picked up, but they both have efficiency 5 and fortune 3 and all that. So I just take the Curse of Vanishing for the Unbreaking. Now I carry on, And breaking Skulk with a diamond hoe is just so sensitive. But I do set off a Shrieker and summon another Warden. I need to stop summoning them. This is not great for me. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm very nervous about this. I'm shifting, running around. But don't fear. I'm doing okay right now. So I go up here and I'm still looking for the warden that I summoned, but there's a lot of wool up there, so I can move a little bit faster, but not for long. And I really wish, because later in this video, I really wish I knew to like brought wool here, because it just would have helped so much. So I know he would still be able to like sniff me, but I could have like sprint jumped and like placed wool under me or something. Or I don't even know if that's how it works, but you can see I set up another shrieker and I summon a warden up from where I am. So I just jump off because I'm not dealing with a ton of wardens right now. And you see I almost set off another shrieker while I'm backing away. And you can see a warden there, and there's a warden to my right, too. Or never mind. Sorry. In the darkness, even I got lost. So I have my bucket. I break these sensors to give me a bit of like freedom, and I get to climb up this area. And when I get to the top, you'll never believe what I find. Why are there so many shriekers? That's too many. Too many shriekers. There's four. And I'm going to break them later because I need the loot from the chest, but like, no one needs four shriekers. That's just unnecessary. Just put like one there and be done. Anyway, as I continue on, deciding that summoning wardens is. Oh, yeah, you see my powers turned off. So every new moon, our powers deactivate. So, in the middle of raiding this ancient city, my powers turned off. Which is not a great time, I'll tell you. Because that's even more nerve-wracking. Because before, if things got too hairy, I could always go and have the warden, like, and make a plan in my dimension. But right now, there's nothing protecting me. I book it immediately, and I'm freaking out here. I'm like, what do? I don't have my powers. I just have, like, iron tools, and there's a warden. So what I end up doing is I go along this skulk area, and then I'm walking along, I'm just trying to formulate any plan I can to get away from the warden. Because the faster I can get away from him, the faster I can like dig a tunnel out of here. And you can see I'm checking the darkness effect because since it got reapplied, that means that the warden is close enough where he's like sniffing me out. And yeah, I'm pretty sure like when he gets you, his heart beats faster. I'm not too focused on that. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out a path to get to the other end of the like upper pathway here. It's not a great way of describing it, but because I know that the farther I can get away from the warden, the better. Now, this path never ends up leading anywhere, but I still tried. So I'm still kind of freaking out because I still don't have powers, which it's a lot easier to face the warden when you can teleport into a pocket reality, okay? But the warden eventually doesn't like aggro into anything. So he goes like he digs back into the ground as he does. And he's still horrifying. I'm having nightmares. Anyway, I go to the main portal, and in this area, it's the part where like all the redstone is. So I checked that out in a little bit. Now, I'll be completely honest. Redstone is one of the most complicated things in Minecraft. And I'm not gonna act like I understand it, but I know how to make like piston doors and some basic things, but besides that, I'm completely out. I'm stuck on how it works. There's just so many like different components that like you put them all together and I have no clue. But you have them all separate and I'm like, yeah, piston pushes, daylight observer powers, button powers, lever powers. Like the minecart moves with these rail cars. Minecart moves with these rails. And I understand that portion, but besides that, no, nothing. So I go into this place, which is like a safe haven, which is so nice. I take this lectern, because I know it's you're supposed to figure out it powers a redstone lamp or things, but I just want it for the villager trades. So I press that button, which opens up this like doorway outside. And I'm just searching around. All this redstone is very cool, but I don't pretend like I'm going to understand it because I'm not. So after I take the things that I want, which is the lectern, I do end up going out from like the doors I made from pressing that lever earlier. Now, I break this streaker and I break some of these sensors because I just hate the noise they make when they are triggered. It's like fleshy and squelchy. Not good. So after climbing up with my water and taking unnecessary damage, I do break that other shrieker, which why are there so many shriekers? Like they're everywhere. So I continue on, and I really wish that like along with Swift Sneak, they made a boot enchantment called like Soft Step that was like super rare or super expensive or something, which allowed you to walk but not sprint. Because I know Swift Sneak gets almost as fast as walking, but like not the same. Because if I'm walking, at least I feel like I'm going somewhere, you know? Anyway, so I go back by this lava pool again, and then I want my loot. So I go up here, place, and it has two shriekers. So I break one, but the other one goes off. Then I break that one, and then while I'm stressing out real fast, I don't check the chests, which I should do. And then I go and I start mining through. I start replacing the blocks behind me since I think the warden can go through a too high tunnel. But maybe not. Maybe he has to go through a 3 high one. Either way, I'm not taking that chance. Because people who take chances are dumb, but he does like start sonically screeching me. Anyway, thanks for watching.